Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. In today's video, we will be decorating out in the living room, the mantle, as well as my fireplace table here. The theme I'm going this year, in the living room, will be that of traditional. We will have a little bit of Tartan going on, Charles Dickens, touches of the whimsical that I love. Definitely the reds and the gold gilding. I hope this inspires you all to get out that Christmas if you have not yet, and just start making for a cozy Christmas season. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so here are many more items will be going up on the fireplace, but I just thought I would start with a little bit of the greenery that I will be working with. I have my pear wreaths that were purchased at the at-home store to the right. And to the left, we have a magnolia garland and a pine garland. Those are the only two garlands that will be going up on the mantle. And I will be using a few picks and then what looks like eucalyptus in between the gold stocking holders, but it's not. Okay, so we're going to start off with the magnolia garland and just a different variety of greenery, placing it, just twisting it around, and then I'll work it through the magnolia leaves. I do not have a link for these garlands because I have had them for some time. But there is magnolia garland out there floating around. I'm sure there is some on Amazon to be had. It's still early in the season. Okay, so I have that little command hook over to the side because I was going to do something different. I switched it up, but it still works, it being over there. And I'm just going to work halfway on the fireplace and go down the right side. We will really build up. This is just the base. And I will be mixing again the two greeneries together. That's very important when decorating, to make sure, you just mingle it all together. Hide that big brown hook. We don't want that. That doesn't look too good. And I will be going through the whole garland, just really mixing it all up. Here's the other end of it, making sure to have some coming down off of the mantle up front, but also lifting some up on the back. The goal here is to get things looking very full. And then the side, again, I'm just going to twist things around and just fluff everything out. Oops, that's no worries. I'll just put it right back up in there. I'll have to push that down a little bit. That's coming out just a bit much. But again, the goal is to make everything look just a little bit fuller, not so flat and matted. So here I have it all worked really good. And now I will be adding in just different types of cedars and pines throughout the garland. I'm being really good with my greenery this year and just using what's on hand versus going out there and spending that big amount on greenery. It can add up quite quickly. So I have some red berries here. I might use them, I'm not sure. Then I have this faux boxwood. I like how it has the yellow frosted tips. And then I'm bringing back out the green tablecloth. I purchased a large package from Amazon a few years ago, and I did share how to use this in my garland on the staircase at our old home. That was so fun creating. But it really does help fill up a garland nicely for a lower cost, because ribbons can really get up there in price when especially when you get into the designer ribbons. So using a table runner, it's just very budget friendly. So I just tucked in a little here and there, and I know it's going to change this, but I wanted a little bit more coming down up front, and then I just twisted it around going down the side. I did just use one runner. And now we will be having some fun with some tartan this year up on the mantle, because again, I'm going for a very traditional look and feel, you know, having some Charles Dickens and just some gold gilding going on. And I just really felt for the red tartan this year. This is a 4-inch thick ribbon that I purchased from Pottery Barn. I will see if it's still available. Just grab it with your 2 fingers and just twist it around and just gather it the best that you can. This is a very thick ribbon. So I have one piece up at top, a loose piece, well, one little tail, and then making sure the bows are pretty much the same size, and I will have one tail coming down at the bottom. And then I just get my wire, and as tight as you can, wrap it around the ribbon so it will stay in place. I mean, this ribbon, I didn't realize it was so thick. And then I'll just, you know, twist everything around and just get it how I really want it to look. I'll make sure to dovetail my ends. I just fold it in half. The way I do it might look a little bit backwards because I'm a lefty. But you just fold it in half. Some just keep it, you know, just open and then cut for a dovetail. But I just think this way is safer for me. I don't want it to look all jagged. And there we have a dovetail. And I will do the same up at top. Okay, so here is the first piece. Now we're going to have another short little tail, well, little piece up at top and another tail down at the bottom. I made sure to have my wire longer so I could just work with the same piece of wire. So again, we're just going to pinch and gather it right here. So another long piece down at the bottom, because I will be weaving it through the garland, going down the side. Then just tightening things up. How many of you are going to use tartan ribbon this year? There's so many different pretty colors. There's the reds and the blues and greens and the black watch. I love that one. So here I have just one nice size ribbon. The two little, like, they're so whimsy, right? So whimsical, some like to hear, up at top. And then down at the bottom, right now I'm just going to pinch it and put it in the greenery, but I will, throughout this process, get some wire and wrap it into the greenery. Because it just, you know, to be honest, it kept popping out as I was decorating. Okay, so here I have it right, just going down the side. Love it. The playful pieces up at top and then a couple going down the side. And again, I will make sure to share a link for this ribbon. And then I have just one other piece that I cut and just placed it on the other end of the garland. And that's it. I'm not going to, well, for today anyhow, who knows what I'm going to do as videos, you know, are going out. I might add even more, who knows. But for now, we have just the bow to the right and then another garland right over here to the left. So the landscape picture up at top, just, I wanted to go with like a traditional English countryside type of feel. So I placed up one of my stocking holders from Ballard Designs. I did not see any this year. I hope they get more. I purchased these last Christmas, 3 of them. I really wanted 5, but I was being good and purchased 3, but just the perfect. They're heavy weighted, so you can really put some weight on these. And the color, I love the color. So I'm just going to use 2 up here. The other one, I don't know where I'm going to use it. And it's because I wanted to add in this delicious gilded pear candle holder. It's almost like a candelabra, right? Because we have 3 of them. I don't even remember. I believe this was an online purchase. I've had it for a little while, but I thought, how perfect to just keep going with the whole gold gilding of it all up here on the mantle all along, while I keep the constant English country, the traditional going. Some might see it as a little bit Ralph Lauren, because, you know, traditional Ralph Lauren go hand in hand, but I added in some Christmas lights. I wasn't going to. I just wanted to keep it natural and just let the other lights that are going on just work this whole mantle, but I changed my mind and I put in 2 strands of lights. And they were purchased from Lowe's. So I have this little pot here. I believe this is really it's a succulent, and I think it's called Sacred Heart. I could be wrong, but it surely does look a lot like the silver dollar eucalyptus, so I'm going with it. I like the different texture and color. And I added it right off here into the corner, and then another one as well. So there's 2 pots, but then I have these garland, well, stems, and these were purchased from Hobby Lobby. And I'll place them all up front just for now. It's all about, I'm just seeing how everything feels as I'm decorating. That's the nice thing about stems. If it doesn't work, you just pull it right out. So I have quite a bit going up front here, and I'm like, it's just so busy. But you don't know until you know, right? So I'm just going to let it sit there for now and add in some of these yellow frosted tip boxwood picks. So I place some off behind the bow and then going down the side, and then surrounded the stocking holders with them as well. And as you can see, I removed some of the, I'm just going to call it eucalyptus, even though it's not, off of the mantle because it was just a little too busy for me. And now to add in some Charles Dickens. Here I have quite a few volumes of his reads, and I just thought it goes perfect with Christmas and the whole traditional look of it all. And I place that off to the left. So I'm not going to go heavy with the greenery on the left-hand side, and you'll see why in a moment. So I did share a picture of this basket. I was going to put it on top of the mantle where the books are at. But then I thought, well, why do that? I can hang it from one of the stockings, and I have a problem. And it will give me more room to decorate with other pretties up on top. And then I have a pear wreath that, okay, my daughter London, she was moving items off the table in the living room, and she just placed this wreath like this on the basket. And I said, oh my goodness, I love it. You know, it's one of those things where it, you know, you weren't planning on doing it, but it turned out to be quite grand. So anyhow, I just placed the wreath in between the 2 handles on the basket and have that just coming down off of the front. Can never have too many baskets hanging from a mantle. I love the look. Just very old world, has that wonderful English feel. Everything is going just perfectly with my landscaping painting here. This was a Facebook marketplace find. So we just have quite a bit of gilded goodness going on here, all while keeping the traditional feels going. And as I stated, we will be decorating the fireplace table and chairs as well. So I just want to share, so I decided, okay, let's keep the pear theme, because, I want to keep the whole English feel of Christmas going. So I thought, let's hang some of these pears from the back of the chairs. I only purchased 3 of these wreaths. I really wish I would. I would love to have like 5 more of these. They are a fabulous piece to work with. So what I'm doing, I have some dark green ribbon that was purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I'm using this to tie the wreath on to the back of the chair. Now, I didn't want to go all the way up to the top part of the chair. I very well could have. But you will see here as the video moves on along why I decided to move it down 1. It's just not, the ribbon was too long. I'm having to situate. Sometimes the simplest of things can just get difficult, and I don't know why. There's no reasoning behind it. It just does. Okay, so let's do this again. Ribbon from Hobby Lobby. It's a darker olive green color. There's no wire to it, so it just has that fun, sashy look and feel to it. Just going to tie it in a knot. And one piece is shorter, and the other, I decided I wanted it to be a little bit longer because I just want it to play over here on the side of the wreath and then come down. So I'll play with it some more. You'll see the finished look here shortly. So I decided, since I have some tartan up on the mantle, I'm just going to add this sweet little tartan ribbon here with the pear wreath. Tartan and pears are just look fabulous together. And then having the black with the chair, it's on the backdrop, is just everything. I'm loving all of these different textures and colors and so I'm trying to get this wire on here. And then again, I'll play with the bow and with the ribbon, and you'll see the finished look. But that's why I wanted one of the green ribbons to be, one side to be longer than the other, because it kind of hides behind this tartan ribbon. So, and that's okay. But just for one, not both. I just had to let one come out to play. Okay, so I have them on both chairs. And as you can see, it's so playful, coming off of the fireplace to have these pear wreaths on the back of the chair. To myself, I just thought perfection. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Okay, so here is a very old flower market basket and that I purchased from a garage sale in California several years ago. And I thought, okay, well, let's add some stems here at the bottom. Again, we're playing off of the mantle, bringing things out from it. And I'm just going to place it here at the bottom in these openings and just let some drape over the side. And here it is. Now again, these can be purchased at Hobby Lobby. And again, it's all about weaving and trying to keep things natural looking. So I decided to place these at the bottom because something very wonderful is going up at top. So I just needed to fill this in a little bit. So I have a DIY on this. It's probably 2 Christmases ago. So the video is out there. I shared how I put together this wonderful magnolia topiary. And I just thought it goes wonderfully with the mantle, the colors, all the different berries. So this is why I decided to fill the bottom, because it just would have been awkward. And then later on, as I'm decorating, I know I will add a bow. And then this absolutely changes everything. These 2 pillows were purchased. It just really elevates this space, these pillows from Ballard Designs. Nothing like adding in just that little bit of chic into your Christmas decorating. And I have these candles that were purchased from Ballard's. Yes, I do have the tag. And they had them marked down quite a bit. But even off of this price, I believe I paid in between $5 and $7. And look, they're normally $35, but these candles are fabulous. So for those of you that decide to maybe go and purchase some of these, if there's a place there where you could leave a comment or something, maybe put in there that you watched the Little Blue Fly decorate with these, and maybe they might come for a collaboration. And that means a fabulous discount code for all of you. So let's try to do that. So for those of you that might go to Lucid and purchase some candles, see if you can write the Little Blue Fly in there, and they just might reach out and we can start getting some percentage off. Okay, so here's the black tapers. Perfect up here. You know, black is just so rich. It's so rich, and paired with the gold gilding and the colors, the green from the pears and the red from the apples and berries and tartan. It's just, I am loving this mantle. But again, as we continue on decorating, because this is a big series, a living room series, I think there's going to be 3 parts to it. I will be back again this week with more decorating here in the living room. But look, again, just look, the animal print with the tartan and the gold gilding and old books and just the gilded landscaping frame. It just makes for a fabulously chic, traditional type of Christmas mantle. Now I need to add just a little bit down here on the table. Someone did reach out to me and ask if I stenciled this on, and I did not. The table came like this. I really could put a good polish on it though. But having the old, worn look and feel to it, it does give it some character. Okay, so I have one of my old plates here on the table and decided to put a little candle lamp here. Not too much, because we're going to be coming up here with our plates and bowls and books, and so nothing too bulky in the middle. But I had to add in that little touch of blue, and here we have some fabulous just touches of whimsical in copper dishes, just old, antique, and vintage watch faces and pieces. So just to pull back a little bit, I will take you in for a closer look. The lamps will be on, the candles lit. We will be decorating the table off to the side next video, along with other things, not just the table, because I really want to get things moving along and decorated. But just adding that touch of rich blue in with Christmas is always such a wonderful touch. So for those of you that enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share my video. Let's get it out there to others. And I hope this has inspired you all. And if you have not subscribed, I invite you to do so. So until the next video, bye-bye.